Well, good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, this literally does not work. It's been a really interesting day. We found out that the Dallas Cowboys are going to be on Hard Knocks, and I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it. In fact, actually, I feel better because of Philly 500. Philly 500, he's a friend, okay? I know a lot of people take stuff seriously and think that, I have to get Mark Holmes because Mark Holmes and, he's always knocking my boy. This is just part of what is football trash talk. This is what we do. And it's not personal and stuff just because I trash the Eagles. He trashes the Cowboys, He's always saying in his intro, taking one Cowboy fan at a time. And the whole clips where he has on his videos of me, in the workshop, cutting things out and taking them out of context, I think it's hilarious. And sometimes people will take it further than that and think that, there should be more to it, but there really just isn't. But regardless of that, the Cowboys are going to be for the third time on Hard Knocks. And we were on there in 2002. I think it was 2002 with Dave Campo. And we were 5-11 that season. And then you can look at 2008, we were 9-7. And the perception, and I always say there's perception and then there's reality. The perception is teams that are on Hard Knocks, they get worse. And for the Cowboys, you could look and say that they stayed even the first year, and they actually dropped because the year before they were 13-3, and they went to 9-7. So they did drop by 4 games. So the Cowboys, I'm going to actually say, were more of the exception than the rule. So Philly 500, who, like I said, Philly 500 is actually my friend. I've actually been texting back and forth with him and talked to him a couple times on the phone, almost on a daily basis, because he's dealing with knee issues much like I am. And unfortunately, when he went and got x-rays, his main focus was to get an MRI done. He didn't pay so much attention about getting the pain meds for his knee. His knee is swollen up as bad as his head is. You know how swollen his head is. Well, his knee is bigger than that. And so he's in a lot of pain. And so he left the doctor's office and found out that the doctor didn't prescribe him any medication, and that the doctor was going to be out of the office until Thursday, so he couldn't get any meds for this pain that he's been dealing with for several weeks until Thursday. And so I just received a text from him. I want to make sure I read it to you, okay? And he said, Cowboys just sealed their own fate. Hard Knocks is the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death. My response to him was, did you get some pain pills that just fucked up your brain? He's like, nope. He said, that's real. Teams that go Hard Knocks always have bad years. Is it? Let me remind you guys of something right here.
I fire Howard. Fucking fire. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, Howie's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him.
Justin Jefferson's ass. I don't want Justin Jefferson because he's ass. Okay. Now, you saw how big his head is. Imagine how bad his knee is. His knee is pretty bad. So, when Philly 500 says that something bad is going to happen, all of a sudden I start feeling much, much better. So I went through and I crunched the numbers because I'm a numbers guy. I am a numbers guy, okay? I like statistics, okay? And so I'm going to try and give you the statistics and the exact numbers as they are. I'm not going to try and pull, a Colin Cowherd or a Dan Orlowski on you and bullshit you. There have been 16 Hard Knock shows. The Cowboys, this will be their third. I think the Rams have been on twice. I think the Bengals have been on twice as well, and so on. Going through the numbers, now the first year was actually the Baltimore Ravens, who were coming off of a 12-4 season. They dropped by 2 games, went 10-6. I won't say 10-6 is a bad season, and I don't think anybody in the NFC East would say that's a bad season. Of course, I talked about our Cowboys that were 5-11 and 5-11. They held serve in the Dave Campo years, but he was 3 years of 5-11. So before we had 8-8, we had 5-11. The Kansas City Chiefs, 2007, they skipped a few years. Kansas City was 9-7. They ended up 4-12. They dropped by 5 games. So that's not looking good. And then the Cowboys were on there again for a second time, 13-3, 9-7. So when you're looking at the first 4 years, you had 3 of those years big declines and 1 holding serve. So if that was your only amount of data, you'd look at that and say, damn, I don't want to be on Hard Knocks. But then they changed the rules on Hard Knocks and later on because they looked at it as, we want teams that are bottom dwellers, because maybe it's that teams that were really good say, we don't want this because of the curse of being on Hard Knocks. And they started looking for teams, and I think, in fact, you can't be a playoff team and then be on Hard Knocks. So after that, you started getting teams like the Bengals that were 4-11, and they jumped up by 6.5 games. Oh, snap. Then you had the Jets in 2010 that went from 9-7 to 11-5, picking up 2 games. Oh, shit. Then you had the Dolphins that were 6-10. They go to 7-9. Not a big increase, but still an increase. The Bengals, 10-6, 11-5. The Falcons, 4-12 to 6-10. All of a sudden, we're just reeling off more and more victories. The Texans, they held serve because, well, the Texans, they're just sorry ass. Sorry, Eastside. Your team just sucks. The Rams finally reversed it, 7-9 to 4-12. And the Bucks 9-7 to 5-11. But here's the biggest increase in history of it. The Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns, coming off an 0-16 season, went to 7-8-1, jumping up 7.5 games. And then you had the Raiders going from 4-12 to 7-9. And then you had the Rams last year, 9-7 to 10-6, and the Chargers going from 5-11 to 7-9. So only 5 times have teams. Did I get that right? Wait a minute. Let me double check. Yeah, wait a minute. 5 times. Say 1, 2. Let's say 6 times. 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah. 5 times. Only 5 times. 5 times out of the 16 have teams gotten worse. 2 times they held serve, and 9 times, the teams increased victories. And on average, the increase was 2 games because it ended up being 18 more victories for those 9 teams. So I'm sorry. Excuse me. My math is wrong. Sorry. When the teams ended up doing worse, it was 3.1 more losses in those 5 teams. For the teams that increased, there were 3 more victories than the previous year. So hypothetically, let's say that the Cowboys are on that trend where, more teams are positive. The Cowboys get 3 more wins. That's 9-8. Not the record I want them to have. I'd like them to be, 11-5. I'm sorry, 11-6. But 9-7 gets them on a winning season and probably gets them in the playoffs. So from my standpoint, as always, I appreciate Philly 500 so much because Philly 500 just made my day and made me realize he don't know shit. much like most people. So take that with a grain of salt. We'll be doing our live stream tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. I hope you tune in. I'm working on doing some more changes because I just realized that we are a month and 3 days away from the Hall of Fame game. That's it. Our first preseason game is a month and 3 days from today. In less than 3 weeks, we'll be at training camp. And I've kind of slowed down on some of the changes and upgrades that I've been doing on the studio, and I've got to get my shit together because time is getting short. See you guys tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. I did a live stream earlier today, and the 3 people that did Super Chats, I'm getting your name added for our drawing tonight. We'll be giving away a Jabardi, as well as we're going to be giving away this table, and probably we'll give it away at the beginning of training camp. That will be how we start the season out. And as always, friends, I want to thank you very much for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you later.
Yo, everybody, doing? King Ding back here. Sorry I'm late. I needed to catch my breath. Eagles lose to the Steelers, 38-29. Very depressing. Very frustrating loss today.